of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And hi there, my name is Ron Juckett, and welcome to the show for this 28th day of July 2020. We go back to the Friday night, August 25th, 1978, for the first of a huge, and I mean huge, three-game series between the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are 2 games back of the Royals, and this is the last time that these two teams are scheduled to meet this year, which means that we might actually see these two teams tomorrow. Actually, we guarantee that we see these two teams tomorrow night in prime time. The Rangers are 67 and 58. The Royals are 69 and 56. And this certainly is the biggest series in baseball all weekend. And of course, the other big series that's not quite as big as this is the Phillies and the Dodgers from Dodger Stadium, and you'll see them on Thursday. Jon Matlack going for the Rangers today. He is looking for win number 16. Rich Gale, Crystal's brother, right? Will try to take them half the way and is going for the Royals. So that's what we got for you on this lunchtime on a Tuesday. It's the Angels. It's the Angels. It's the Rangers and the Royals. But as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1978 tonight from Arlington Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It is the Texas Rangers, second place in the American League West, trying to hang on to their playoff lives against the American West leading Kansas City Royals. And tonight's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulations and replay needs. And so, hit the right button. Good afternoon there, SDG Replays. Jon Matlack warming up for the Rangers on a warm and windy night on the prairie. 89 degrees, winds 13 right to left. Matlack making start number 25. He'll have 8 to go after this. He is 15 and 5 and is in the running for the American League Cy Young with an ERA of 2.05. As I said, this is the last series between these two teams. He has started twice against the Royals, 18 innings, 19 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned. He has walked 5 and struck out 9, and has owned 1 with an ERA of 3. There's been some clunkers recently, haven't there? His last start was against these Royals. I just read you the numbers. 8 innings, 12 hits. This was on the 20th in Kansas City. 6 runs, 4 earned in a loss. He walked 2 and struck out 5. So overall, 201 and 2/3 innings, 177 hits, 10 homers, 63 runs in total. 46 of those runs are earned. He has walked 37 and struck out 115. He is a ground ball plus pitcher and a fastball pitcher at 88. And this will be the lineup he will face today for the Kansas City Royals. Freddie Patek leads off at short. George Brett is at third. He'll bat second. Remus Otis will hit third and center field. Al Cowens is in right field. He'll clean up. Hal McRae, the DH, will bat fifth. John Wathan at first for Kansas City. He'll go sixth. Darrell Porter is behind the plate. Lefty versus lefty. He'll bat seventh. Frank White back at second base will go eighth. And Willie Wilson is in left field. He'll bat ninth. And Gale should go about 120 pitches on the mound. Defensively for the Rangers, Al Oliver in left field. He's got a 5 range on a 1 to 10 scale, because I do get asked every once in a while, and a 7 arm, and again, that based out of 10. Juan Beniquez a 9 and a 7 in center. Bobby Bonds a 7 and an 8 in right. The infield, Kurt Bavacqua is a 6 at third. How you doing, Lorenzo? Toby Hara is a 4 at short. Bump Wills a 7 at second. Mike Hargrove an 8 at first. Jim Sundberg a 10 and a 9 behind the plate. And Matlack is an 8 with a .921 fielding percentage. So it is Kansas City and Texas today, Kansas City and Texas in prime time tomorrow, and Philadelphia and Los Angeles Thursday at lunch. So those are the next 3 games for you. Freddie Patek at 245, 4 homers and 41 RBI. The Royals and Rangers for the 13th time this year. Don't spit, Ronnie. The Royals lead the season series 8-4. Matlack's pitch, and there's a fly ball to left field. Oliver is there, and that's how this one starts, 1 away. George Brett, maybe the only time in his career, maybe in the early 90s at the end of it, where he didn't hit 300. He's only at 271, 10 homers and 59 RBI. He would hit 294 in real life. Matlack delivers, and there's a base hit left center field. Oliver will pick it up, and Brett's going for 2. The throw to bump. No, sir. So a double for Brett. You're the only race that really doesn't matter at this point, Lorenzo. You might actually go 2 or 3 weeks without a Dodger game. Otis at 295, 18 homers and 55 RBI. He is the big power threat for Whitey's boys. Matlack delivers, and he tries to bunt one, and it's going to stay fair. Sundberg will pick it up, and Otis reaches. No, it's the way that the pennant races go. Everything else is within like 2.5 games. Here's Cowens at 288, 4 homers and 61 RBI. Pitch to Cowens is a base hit right center field. Brett will score. Otis stops at second. Cowens on first. 1-0 Kansas City. Thanks, Lorenzo. I'll show it to you. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh 2.5. Kansas City 2 over Texas. 4.5 Minnesota. California 5.5. The Orioles a half game over Milwaukee and a game and a half over New York. Now, Reds keep winning and the Dodgers stumble a bit. That's a different story. But the only race I'm confident that we know who's going to win is the Dodgers. And so, nope. I'm not Spiro Agnew. Bribery will get you nowhere. Here's McRae at 272, 11 homers and 76 RBI. Pitch to McRae. Matlack hits a line drive, base hit. Otis will hold at third. And Otis is going to round third. Beniquez will throw home. Sundberg prepares. He got away from Sundberg. The throw is there. It skipped pass, and that's an error. And everybody else moves up 90. So 2-0 Kansas City, 1 out. So my YouTube commenters are saying that the starters haven't pitched very well the last couple times, and it's true. Here's Wathan at 410, 1 homer and 14 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to Hara, and he got a late jump on it, and everybody's safe. So it's 3-0. And it may be clear in 89 here in Arlington, but right now it's pouring all over John Matlack. Brings up Darrell Porter at 298, 15 homers and 77 RBI. Pitch to Darrell is a ground ball to third. Bavacqua to Wills for 1 over to Hargrove. I think they got it going this time, and they do. But the Royals get a hot jump on Matlack and company. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. After half an inning, Kansas City 3. Here come the Rangers. And here's Rich Gale making start number 24. He has 6 left. He is 6-7 with a 4.7 ERA. Against Texas, this is his 5th start. Rich Gale is as familiar with the Rangers as Chuck Norris is. 25 and a third innings. 23 hits. 9 runs, 8 earned. He's walked 15 and struck out 9, but doesn't have a record. And an ERA at 2.84. His last time out was against these Rangers in Kansas City a week ago. 6 and a third innings, 5 hits, no decision. 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 6 and struck out 2. So 153 innings, 152 hits, 7 homers, 75 runs, 59 earned. That's just nasty. 68 walks and 64 strikeouts. Fastball pitcher at 91 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Lorenzo, if they were in a race, we'd make sure the Dodgers were on every chance we get. But it's hard to believe that 5 games is the outlier. Everything else is so close. And it's hard to believe that the schedule makers, well, I don't think anyone figured Texas was going to do anything in 78, would have them done for the year on the 27th of August. Lineup for Texas. Thank you, sir. Mike Hargrove will lead it off at first base. Bump Wills at second will bat second. Kurt Bavak was batting third. And remember, there's something about a Kurt Bavakwa man. Al Oliver cleans up in left. Bobby Bonds in right will bat fifth. Richie Zisk is the DH. He'll go sixth. Jim Sundberg will be behind the plate. He'll go seventh. Juan Beniquez will hit eighth in center field. And Toby Hara at short. Yep, Kurt Bavakwa-Velva. That sounds like something out of the Harry Carey book. Kurt Bavakwa-Velva. Matlack, 25 pitches in the first on the game. I'm sure the Rangers just need him to go long. He can throw 135. Defensively for the Royals, Willie Wilson is a 9 and a 3 in left. Amos Otis is a 5 and a 6 in center. Al Cowan's a 9 and an 8 in right. George Brett an 8 at third. Freddie Patek a 6 at short. Frank White back in the lineup for Kansas City. He's a 10 at second. John Wathen is a 7 at first. He couldn't have played that many games. As they joke about Tommy Lasorda's love affair for Kurt Bavakwa in the chat. Darrell Porter, a 6 and a 6 behind the plate. And Gale at 8 on the mound with an .879 fielding percentage. Mike Hargrove at .296. He's had a monster year. 9 homers and 59 RBI. Pitch from Gale and Hargrove into left field. Wilson's there, and that will be 1 out. Brings up Bump Wills. Bump at 247, 13 homers, and 39 RBI. And if he should reach, he has 41 stolen bases. Pitch from Gale. Wills into shallow right. Cowan's 2 out. Here's Bavakwa at 165. Great lineup here for a number 3 hitter, Pat Corrales. 1 homer and 19 RBI. We do as played lineups just to make it fair. And so don't blame, I'm going to do my best version of Gabbo from The Simpsons. Don't blame me. I didn't do it. Actually, that's Krusty the Clown. Pitch to Bavakwa. There's a ground ball to Patek, and Freddie boots it. So Kurt's on. That's what I get for picking on the guy. It hits off the chest of Patek, and Bavakwa's on with a 2-out error. For Al Oliver, who's at .316, 12 homers and 68 RBI. Pitch to Oliver. Ground ball to White, over to Wathen, and that will retire the side. So, no runs, no hits. The error does not count. We've played 3-0 Kansas City. So, speaking of Frank White, Mr. Matlack needs a good inning. And all those runs, by the way, for Kansas City in the first were earned. White at 302, 6 homers and 53 RBI. Matlack deals right to Hara over to first. And 1 out. I do not have the slide projector up today, but we will have a night stream tomorrow night. Billy Hunter? You mean Billy Martin? Here's Willie Wilson at 202. No homers, a triple, and 14 RBI. The game will always list the last manager of the year. You can't fire a fake manager in the course of the year. Yeah, Martin went to the Yankees and brought him to the World Series in '76. So let's say we know that Martin managed most of the year in New York, but Bob Lemon is listed as a manager. That sort of thing. Pitch to Wilson is a drag bunt that's going to beat it out. Matlack kind of gives him a half-hearted throw, and Wilson's on with a hit. 6th hit for the Royals. So through 9 batters, Matlack and an inning and a third, 28 pitches, 6 hits, and 3 earned runs. A whip of 4.500 and an ERA of 20.25. Freddie is 0 for 1. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, Hunter did manage the Rangers for 161 games and got canned. And so Corrales got the last game. How can you can somebody when they finish within 5 games? It's not like Texas was expected to contend in 78, were they? Pitch to Patek is a ground ball to Hargrove. He'll go to Matlack for the sure out at first. Wilson will go to second, 2 out. Brings up Brett, who doubled and scored in the first. Wind's blowing in from right at 13. A good-sized crowd here at the former Turnpike Stadium. Pitch to Brett, and there's a ground ball to Wills over to Hargrove, and that will retire the side. So a 12-pitch inning for John Matlack. We go to the bottom of the second. No runs a hit, and the Royals leave him in. It's still 3-0 Kansas City. Brings up Bobby Bonds with the Rangers. 269, 16 homers, and 30 stolen bases. And 60 RBI. Can I get his numbers from the White Sox? Nope. Got his numbers from California from a quickie I did in 77. But it's not recognizing Chicago. Anywho, Gale threw 11 pitches in the first. Starts the second, striking him out. A late called strike 3, and Bonds just shakes the head. Brings up Richie Zisk at 262, 17 homers, and 63 RBI. Hunter's Sabre biography says, shocked by his dismissal, Felix vowed he would return to his wife and never live with Oscar Madison again. No, shocked by his dismissal, Hunter vowed that he would never manage or coach in the majors again. I'm absolutely stunned by that. So JT Dutch filling in the role today of Big Clue, who we hope to see tomorrow in our prime time stream. Pitch to Zisk is a fly ball to right. Cowan's in the corner. He'll make the catch for the out. 2 away for Sundberg. I don't think I gave you Zisk's numbers. Sundberg at 271, 4 homers and 33 RBI. Gale, line drive. Watkins there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, Kansas City 3, Texas nothing. Amos Otis, Al Cowens, and Hal McRae here to face Matlack in the third. Billy Hunter. Hey, how you doing, Michael? Billy Hunter coached at some summer clinics that Jamie went to high school with. Cool. Otis singled and scored in the first. Pitch from Matlack is a fly ball right center field. Bonds is there. And there's one out. Lorenzo, I meant to ask you about Oakland. Here's Cowens. RBI single and a run scored in the first. Struck him out. Matlack got him to swing and miss on a 1-2 fastball. 2 out. Hal McRae. RBI single was first time up. By the way, we have the entire Open Championship now on YouTube. Fourth round is processing as we speak, and I gotta make sure to put it in its playlist. Magnificent Sunday of golf. So many of you watched, and that was great. Pitch to McRae. Struck him out. Matlack got him swinging, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Kansas City 3, Texas nothing. So it'll be Juan Beniquez, Toby Harrah, and Mike Hargrove to face Gale here in the third. Juan at 225, 6 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to Beniquez is a little looper into left center field, and that's a base hit. Beniquez will hold at first. And that's the first hit for the Rangers. Brings up Harrah. Toby at 247, 9 homers and 46 RBI. Gale from the stretch. Ball 4. And the Rangers are threatening here in the third. So Gale threw 9 batters, 2+ innings, 32 pitches, 1 hit, a walk and a strikeout, and no runs. Hargrove not a threat to bunt. With nobody out, he's 0 for 1. Mr. Dutch says, I was curious to find out why Bavacqua was hitting third. Turns out he was hitting .417 in the month of August before this particular game. The 25th of August. So is that from StatHead? Pitch from Hart to Hargrove. Ball 4. So Gale has him loaded for Bump Wills, who is 0 for 1. Baseball Reference game logs. That's a very good dig. Ullman's Call, by the way, our latest follower, and The Haunted 687 was the latest to subscribe using his Twitch Prime. Pitch to Wills. Ball 4. Gale's walked home a run. So it's 3-1. And that brings up Kurt Bavacqua-Velva. I like that. He reached on an error his first time up. He's 0 for 1. So Harrah on third, Hargrove on second, and Wills, the speedster, on first. Pitch to Kurt. There's a base hit left field. Harrah scores. Hargrove will hold, and it's 3-2 Kansas City. And really, for the first time in franchise history this late in the year, they're not chanting, "Let's go Cowboys." Here's Oliver. He's 0 for 1. There's a buzz around this franchise they probably haven't seen since David Clyde made the quick jump up after he was drafted in 74, right? 73 or 74. Pitch from Gale. Oliver, ground ball to Patek. White for 1. Over to Watson. And Oliver is retired. So It's a double play, but the run scores, and we're tied up. So Wills goes to third for Bobby Bonds, who struck out his first time up. And talk about, here's something that you'll never hear on a Fortnite stream. Tom Selleck's character in Mr. Baseball led the Yankees in doubles in night games in the month of August. And if you hear about that on a Fortnite stream, someone's had too much to drink. Jack Elliott. So Bonds has struck out, his first time up, has struck out 90 times since coming over from the White Sox. Pitch to Bobby. Band line drive, left field. Wilson's there, and that will retire the side. But the Rangers have tied this up. 3 runs on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 4th. Kansas City and Texas 3-3. So Wathan, Porter, and White to face Matlack. John singled and drove home a run in the first. And so Matlack has been given new life. Excuse me. Mr. Baseball's one of JT Dutch's. Let's pronounce it right, Ron. Favorite baseball movies. Also stars of former Pedro Serrano, Dennis Haysbert. Or, for those of you under the age of 50, The President on 24. And always in good hands with Allstate. Pitch to Wathan is a fly ball to center. Beniquez goes back to make the catch, 1 out. Neither am I. Getting there, though. Getting there. Got about a year and change to go. 73 Rangers were horrible. Great book about them, A Season in Hell. Very entertaining, Jamie says. Although the 72 Rangers might have been worse. When did Williams stayed the first year? Did he stay for 73? The only year that they were at 500 or better during the Ted Williams era goes back to 69 when they were in D.C. Okay. How about that? Yep, 48 turned 49 on Thanksgiving this year. Darrell Porter grounded into a double play his first time up. Pitch to Darrell. Line drive, base hit, past a diving Wills. And that's the 7th hit for the Royals. For somebody. Frank White is 0 for 1. I think we lost Lorenzo here. And as Mel Allen would say, how about that? Pitch to White. Ball 4. So Matlack, they need the shutdown inning from him. Not giving it to him so far. Here's Wilson. Willie singled his first time up. Wilson had 198 real-life at-bats. He's at 194. The world's about to lose him? No, he's here the rest of the way. But he stole 46 bases, hitting .217. That's amazing. Pitch to Willie is a ground ball to Wills. Takes to the bag himself for 1. They're not going to get Wilson. And so there's 2 out. So Porter on third, Wilson on first. And yeah, Jamie's right. The team Ted had in Texas was pretty much cast-offs and never will be's. And it's not true that the title sponsor of their telecast was Chico bail bonds. Here's Freddie. Pontek is 0 for 2. So Matlack, 18 batters deep, 56 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Pontek. Ground ball to Bavacqua. Across the way to Hargrove. And Matlack does get a shutdown inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-3. Ballpark playing big. Of course, this was a good-sized park to begin with. Lefties -6 in the batting average. Righties average. Home runs -13 for the lefties and -14% for the righties. Wow. JT Dutch believes that Ted's Rangers hit .217 in 1972 as a team, which is why you get things such as designated hitters. Zisk is 0 for 1. He's hitting currently .261, 17 homers, and 63 RBI. I don't believe I read that the first time through. Pitch to Zisk is a ground ball to Wathan. Takes it to the bag himself for the out. Jim Sundberg is 0 for 1. .217. That's bad. Pitch to Sundberg. Got him. Second strikeout for Gale. A 3-2 fastball on the inside corner, and there's 2 out. So that'll bring up Beniquez. Juan singled and scored in the third. Gale. Oh my gosh. Pitch to Beniquez. Struck him out. Gale got him looking. A fastball on the inside corner. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 5th. Kansas City 3, the Rangers 3. Brett, Otis, and Cowens here in the top of the 5th. Brett 1 for 2. Doubled and scored. As a team in 1972. As a team. The Rangers slugged .290. There are guys on the bench of your beer league softball team that might get up once every other game because they have to, that have a higher slugging percentage. .290! My God! Pitch to Brett. Fly ball to right. Bonds is there. 1 out. And breathtaking in a way that's not, a Kate Upton breathtaking. Yep. Jamie, the AL batting stats that year were low. It's how you got the DH. I'm not kidding about that. But the Rangers said, hold my beer. Here's Otis. Amos is 1 for 2. He singled and scored. And Tribe fan, I'm not sure there's enough money to make you do one of those. What was their record? I mean, they must have missed a six-team division. They must have finished 6th. Pitch to Otis is a fly ball to center field. Beniquez will make the catch at the track. 2 out. 54 and 100. Wow. And of course, that year, they swapped divisions when Washington moved to Arlington, and they swapped with Milwaukee. Jamie did one. Did you get 54 and 100? Here's Cowens. He's 1 for 2. He's singled, struck out, scored, and drove in a 62nd of the year. Yeah, the 72 Rangers would feel right at home with the 1908 White Sox, right? Pitch to Cowens is a ground ball to Hara, goes across the way, and that will retire the side. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home here on a Tuesday afternoon in Arlington. It's Kansas City 3, Texas 3. We're going to go to the break. So if you joined us late, here's how we got here. Kansas City got 3 runs in the first. Al Cowens singled home George Brett to make it 1-0 Kansas City. Hal McRae singled home Amos Otis to make it 2-0, and then John Wathan singled home Cowens 3-0. Rangers got that all back in the third. Bump Wills walked home Juan Beniquez. Kurt Bavacqua singled home Toby Hara. And Al Oliver with a fielder's choice to make it 3-3. John Matlack, 7 hits through 5. 3 runs all earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 2. Rich Gale, 2 hits through 4. And it'll be Hara, then the top of the lineup, Hargrove and Wills here in the 5th. Toby Watton scored his first time up. Jamie got 60 wins out of that ball club. Holy Snickers. And JT Dutch says what's even more amazing is that the Rangers didn't finish with the lowest number of runs in the league. The Angels did. And with apologies to those who hate the designated hitter, like I do Zucchini, that's why we have it. It was just, you can't be doing that. The games go quicker, but they're not entertaining. Hara draws a walk. Here's Hargrove. Walked, scored, 0 for 1 through 18 batters. Gale, 72 pitches, 4+ innings, 2 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 3. Attendance in the American League, Jamie says, was a third lower that year than the National League, too. There weren't many good races. It was a good ALCS between the Tigers and the A's. Wasn't that the year that Campaneris threw the bat at Laren LeGros? Or John Hiller? Man, the NL was for the far harder hitting league in 72. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, right? The Reds won the league and lost in 7 to Oakland in the World Series. Pitched, I'll throw to first, Hara back. Now we go to Hargrove. A snap throw down to Wathan, and Hara's back. The average National League team scored 70 more runs than the average American League team did in 1972. Which is why I'm sure that the designated hitter was not universal to start with. There goes Hara, the throw down from Porter, and Toby safe. Steal 24 for him. And a 1-1 count to Hargrove and nobody out. Gale from the stretch, ball 4. So Gale, who in real life walked 100 and struck out 88, has walked 5 in this one and fanned 3. So Bump Wills is 0 for 1 with a walk and an RBI. And there's a ground ball to White, who makes a fantastic stop. Goes to Patek for 1, over to Wathan. No, sir. But White saves a run and a base hit. And they get the 4s, 4-6. The AL certainly was in decline as the 70s started. Here's Bavacqua. Kurt is 1 for 2. An RBI, a single, and reached on an error. Hara on third, Wills on second. I think it's hard to believe, but the 75 World Series and the 76 American League Championship Series were so huge in turning around people's perception of baseball. Pitch to Bavacqua. Ball 4. They're loaded, and they're loaded for Al Oliver. So Gale can't buy a strike. That's his 6th walk. Oliver 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. And of course, baseball being baseball, their own worst enemy, but the strike of 81 and all that kind of hurt things again. But baseball had a pretty good renaissance from 76 to 93. And the A's and the Mets played a wonderful World Series in 73, but it really didn't captivate that many people. Rusty Staub had a big World Series for the Mets. Pitch to Oliver is a ground ball to Gale that he can't handle. Harris scores. That's an error, and it's 4-3 Texas. And that brings up Bobby Bonds, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Oliver reaches on the second error, and the Rangers lead it 4-3. Pitch to Bonds is a fly ball to left. Back goes Wilson. He'll make the catch. Wills will have speed to burn. He scores on the sac fly, 5-3. So the Rangers take advantage of some mistakes between Rich Gale not finding the strike zone and Kansas City not being able to field. Texas has a 5 spot. Zisk is 0 for 2. Yet Jamie, the 72 started with the strike, which cost the Red Sox the division because they played an uneven amount of games, and Ben Ogilvie stumbled around third, so the Tigers could win. And ended quick. Players kind of caved early, which made the owners overconfident in 81. We know how that turned out. And the 72 World Series was fun as well. Gene Tennis and Joe Rudy. Remember, there was no Reggie in the 73 series. He was hurt. Pitch to Zisk. Struck him out. That was a big one from Gale. An 0-2 fastball for strike 3. Got him looking. 2 runs. Texas doesn't even get a hit. They get an error, though. And after 5, it's 5-3 Rangers. So McRae, Wathan, and Porter here to start the 6th. The Rangers have 5 on the board, but only 2 hits and an error. McRae 1 for 2 with a single. Right back to Matlack. Over to first for the out. Of course, it took Major League Baseball until 1971 to even try a nighttime World Series game. Here's Wathan. 1 for 2. Single and RBI. I don't remember this. JT Dutch obviously remembers the highlight films. The A's fooling Johnny Bench by pretending to intensely walk him and throwing a strike instead was an unbelievable moment. That's kind of like the Marino fake spike against the Jets in the 90s. Pitch to Wathan. There's a line drive to center. Beniquez is there, 2 out. Here's Porter. Darrow is 1 for 2 with a single. Matlack delivers. Fouled off the mask of Sundberg. Ow. And the count is 0-1 as Sundberg tries to remember where he is. From the wind. Ground ball base hit left side. So Porter is on. That's the 8th Royals hit. And 2 out for White, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. Strike 3. He got him on an 0-2 on the outside corner, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Royals strand the runner after 5.5. Texas 5, Kansas City 3. So Sundberg, Beniquez, and Hara to face Gale, who's throwing a 2-hitter through 5, but he's given up 5 runs, 3 earned, and walked 6. Pitch to Sundberg is 0 for 2. Into left field, Wilson, 1 out. Wind blowing in now from right at 16. That is true. Rice got hurt at the end of the regular season. So the Red Sox didn't have him against Oakland in the ALCS or the World Series. And who knows what would have happened if he could have played. Your guess is as good as mine. That would be a good what if. Beniquez 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out and scored. Pitch to Juan is a line drive base. No, caught by Otis. A shoestring catch, and there's 2 out. Toby Hara has walked twice, scored twice, and stolen a base. His 24th. Line drive, left field, Wilson's there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th. It's still 5-2 Texas. So Wilson, Patek, and Brett, as Matlack is cruising right along here. Willie, 1 for 2 with a single. Hargrove and Bavacqua play for the bunt. Right back to Matlack, over to first for the out. Here's Freddie Patek, he's 0 for 3. Matlack through 27 batters, 88 pitches. 6 in the third innings, 8 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. We had a vacation week, a month ago? And did some games by request, and we replayed Game 7 of the 75 series. And Bill Lee goes out and throws a 2-hitter. They didn't need him, Rice. Carlton Fisk with a big homer in the third inning. Now that one. Freddie's 0 for 3. Matlack's pitch to short. Hara throws it over to Hargrove, and that will be the second out. So here's George Brett. George doubled and scored in the first. He's 1 for 3. He drags the bunt down, and it worked. Sundberg will pick it up as Brett's standing on first. That's an error on Sundberg. So that was a swinging butt by Brett, and it's not a hit. It's an error. Sundberg kicked it. So Brett's on first, 2 out, second error for the Rangers. And then I'll bring up Otis, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. So, Lorenzo finally speaking to us again. 118 Oakland, 86 New Jersey. Who's New Jersey in 67, 68? They weren't the Nets yet. The Americans, right? Young Americans, young Americans. They were the young Americans. Lots of calls. How's your brother doing, buddy? Pitch to Otis, 1 for 3 into right field. Bonds should have it. He does, and that will be the side. Steve Mignori's coming in to pitch. We got a pitching change, and we got the stretch. It's 5-3 Kansas City, or Texas. What would you like to see from the lab? I can do a number of different things. I enjoy doing those too. Some of those we call blurbs. Still waiting on his next appointment. My poor sister, or Lorenzo's poor sister, well, my poor sister has their hands full too, but your mom, your brother, and now yourself. Hopefully the stent, you're recovering from having the stent put in. Yes, I do have a huge stinger. It's not what my wife says though. Steve Mignori coming in to pitch, the lefty making his 34th appearance. 4-7 with 2 saves and a 3.68 ERA. This is his 8th appearance against the Rangers. 10 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs all earned. He has walked 6 and struck out 8. He is 1-1 against Texas with a save and an ERA at 2.53. Well, your guess is as good as mine on how to edit. Yes, Lorenzo, I did. So, if you go back and watch any of my unboxing videos for the Action PC Baseball, you can see how some of that stuff's done, JT. Last appearance was, he pitched both ends of a doubleheader against the Twins on the 16th. So let's see if I can do some quick addition here. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 2 and took a loss in one of those games. So overall, I got to re-scooch, 51 1/3 innings, 47 hits, 3 homers allowed, 22 runs, and total 21 earned. He has walked 22 and struck out 22. Wouldn't that be a catch-22? And the fastball pitcher at 82 miles an hour doesn't favor the grounder or the fly ball. Eres un diablo. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, you laughed. Lorenzo's doing a 63 Dodgers replay, and they're 2-0 so far. Let's see. So give me that. Hargrove is 0 for 1. He has walked twice and scored as we start the bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Hargrove as a fly ball to left. Wilson goes back with 1 out. Bump Wills 0 for 2 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Pitch to Bump, and there's a ground ball to White over to Wathan for the out, 2 away. Brings up Bavacqua. Kurt 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI, and the base hit was a single. And there's a fly ball left center field. Otis will make the catch, and that will retire the side. It'll be Cowens, McRae, and Wathan as John Matlack is trying to pitch the Rangers within 1 game of the Royals. We go to the 8th, 5-3. All right. Gretzky and Strat Hockey. I haven't played much of that. It's not hockey season yet. Andy's baseball version. All right. Well, we'll figure, if there's something you want there. Yeah, it is science. Speaking of Lorenzo, Cowens 1 for 3. He is singled, struck out, scored, and drove in a run in the first. There's another simmer out there who does play-by-play, and he's good. Well, there's a lot of you that are good. But, I forget, he says, I subbed to him. Christopher somebody. I gotta write down the last name, and he did a Football Manager game between, I think he's like doing a Euro, Serbia and Russia, and it is amazing, the graphical content, and it's like an EA quality now for them over at FM. So Lorenzo, who is a huge player of that, at some point I'm gonna have to get it. There's a number of things I still got to get, but if the 2021 version comes out, if it goes on sale, I think I'll get it. That's a game that you can just get lost in. Yeah, this guy is relatively new, and he was just doing play-by-play, and he sounded like he should be doing games at least on BN. Pitch to Cowens is a ground ball to Hara, in on the grass, over to Hargrove, and Cowens is retired, 1 away. So it brings up McRae, who's 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out, and drove in a run. You do. The thing is, for the Football Manager, is it is so immersive. No, not talking about Zealand. JT mostly buys Football Manager just to support the company. It's an unbelievably immersive game. Yeah. The thing is that I just feel so stupid when I play it. Zealand's American? No, this guy is not Zealand is the name of the channel. Nope. It's Christopher somebody. If you just do a search for Serbia versus Russia. He's also, speaking of, Chris is also from England. Okay. Yeah, Al Red Sox and others got Jamie back in the hobby. Of course, Jamie, the former publisher of Sports Gaming Journal. And Al and I are going to be doing some football together. Pro Strategy Football. That's actually, it was Super Bowl tournaments who pointed us in this gentleman's direction. He is really good. Pitch to McRae is a ground ball to third. Bavacqua across the way. Hal can run, but he can't hide. He's out. So 2 out for Wathan, who's single in the first, drove in a run. 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Kansas City. They've left 6 on. 5 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Rangers, and they've left 4 on. Pitch to Wathan. Struck him out. A 1-2 looking at the belt, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Texas 5, Kansas City 3. Well, we're glad to have you there, and we hope that you continue to recover as best as you can. Now remember, no jumping jacks for you for a while, okay? And anything involving Klingon ships, oxygen for you, my friend. Here's Oliver, Bonds, and Zisk for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 8th. You would think that Texas would love an insurance run off of Mignori. Oliver 0 for 3 with an RBI. Pitch from Steve. Ball 4. The land of Nod. JT, starting tomorrow night, we're going to do a primetime baseball game every Wednesday. 7 Eastern. So the land of Nod by 9 a.m. Pacific. Of course, everything is held here for 2 weeks. I don't even have it installed on this computer. You can look all you want. I haven't played in forever. Bobby Bonds is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI. Throw to first. Oliver is not there. So people asked for a primetime stream. Mr. Waterfield, Mr. Big Clue, who is still advising people about how to invest their retirement money. So we'll be doing that. And we're still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing in the fall. Pitch to Bonds is a fly ball to left. Back goes Wilson to the track, and he makes the catch for the out. So 1 away for Richie Zisk, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I saw him. He was in the golf streams over the weekend. He's doing fine. Not in jail yet. Nope. Brad, you going to take that from Lorenzo? Throw to first, Oliver back. Oliver's not stealing. Pitch to Zisk. Line drive, left field, gone. So there's your insurance run, speaking of Big Clue. Richie Zisk with a 1 right down the line and left, and it's 7-3 Texas. His 18th of the year was just ripped down the line. Thank you, JT. So that's the 18th for Zisk. They did need it, and it's 7-3. And Steve Mignori does look like the guy that you run into at the Circle K, or your equivalent, at 7:30 in the morning looking for the carton of cigarettes and the 18-pack of Bud Light. Seven runs on 3 hits. Sundberg 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Got him! So 2 out for Beniquez. And so Matlack. Oh, Zealand did some sports commentary for the University of Virginia and other sources. Cool. I had a couple Linden State College basketball games. Beniquez 1 for 3. A strikeout and a run scored. In the left, Wilson makes the catch. It doesn't take much after you do a bunch of these to get the announcer's voice. I think I'd have to look on this channel, but there's over 600 videos now. Maybe close to 700. By the way, at the end of August, we'll start year number 3 here. Darrell Porter, Frank White, and Willie Wilson to face Matlack here in the 9th. Porter is 2 for 3. He singled twice. Popped up. Wills behind the bag. 1 out. So the Rangers about to go to 68 and 58. And the Royals will drop to 69 and 57. 1 game apart, and they'll only play twice more this year. White's 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout into right field, and that's off the wall. Bonds will pick it up. White's gunning for 3. The throw to Bavacqua, not in time. So Matlack just kind of rubs up the baseball. Here's Wilson. White's run really doesn't mean much of anything. Wilson 1 for 3. Oh, called it. That's cool. We're talking about Zealand. Sundberg and Matlack try to get on the same page. John goes home. Wilson to Wills. They'll let the runners score. Throw to Hargrove, and Wilson's retired. So you give up that all day. It's 7-4, and 2 out for Patek, who is 0 for 4. Matlack threw 36 batters, 8 2/3 innings, 9 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. He's thrown 127 pitches. And he's 1 out away from making this a 1-game spread. From the wind, ground ball to Hargrove. He takes it to the bag, and the Rangers have mission accomplished. The lead is 1 game. And the Rangers have beaten the Royals 7-4. And so John Matlack is 16-5, and he is your Digital Dice Player of the Game. 9 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, somehow all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Rich Gale, don't let those 2 hits through 6 fool you. He had the control of June Allison at the depends line. 6 innings, 2 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. He walked 6 and struck out 4. Well, JT said every time he hears Matlack, he pictures the Aflac duck. So I did the Aflac duck doing Matlack. Mignori, 2 innings, a hit, and 2 runs, both earned. The home run to Zisk. So, on that button. So the lead right now is 1. Not too shabby. The rest of the day in baseball here on this Friday the 25th. Wait, hold on. I'm a multi-talented entertainer, Lorenzo, okay? Gary Sarum does have a 1.90 ERA. How do you think the Twins are 66 and 62? Rest of the day in baseball. Gary Sarum, by the way, wins. He's 15-5 because they beat the Blue Jays 10-2. Rod Carew, how do you do? 4 for 4, double and a stolen base. The Twinkies pound out 16 hits. Hold on 1 second. But first, breaking news. From New York City, Ron Guidry no-hit the Oakland A's. He is 18-5. He walked 1. So I'm assuming that was the only batter that reached and struck out 8. He did it on 122 pitches and lowers his ERA to 2.12, which is perfect if you live in the Bronx. So there you go. So Ron Guidry with a no-hitter. Well, it's only half a no-hitter because it was against the A's, but that's amazing. That's amazing. So don't need to read that. I think that's the first no-hitter I've had in the replay. He struck out 18 against the Angels that year in a game. Yeah, Jamie, John Henry Johnson, a 4-hitter and loses. Who got the hit? Willie Randolph in the 3rd. Rico Carty was the only batter to reach. Guidry faced a minimum 27. So how did they do that? Carty walked in the 5th to start the 5th, and he was doubled off. Unbelievable. All right. Back to me. Okay, other scores. Chicago 9, Cincinnati 4. Rick Russell gets the win. He goes to 14 and 10. Lacoste goes to 1 and 3. DeJesus 4 for 5 with 2 RBI and 2 doubles. The Twins, by the way, pounded out 16 hits against Toronto. Atlanta 4, St. Louis 2. Larry McWilliams goes to 3 and 4. There's one that you'll see on the Skip Carey Fortnite streams. Bob Forrest falls to 11 and 9. George Hendrick 2 for 4 with 2 homers. Drives into, he's got 17 on the year. Seattle 6, Baltimore 3. Shane Raleigh beats Denny Martinez. Raleigh goes to 3 and 4. Martinez 14 and 11. Eddie Murray with his 22nd of the year. He drives in 2. Milwaukee 7-0 over the Tigers. Mike Caldwell goes to 15 and 8. Chris Young 3 and 3. May with his second homer of the year. He drove in 3. Angels beat the Red Sox 5-3. Don Asse goes to 11 and 10. Dennis Eckersley 12 and 12. Houston beats Pittsburgh 2-1. Tom Dixon goes to 12 and 5. Tekulve takes the loss. He goes to 4 and 5. Willie Stargell 1 for 4 with a triple. Francisco Barrios 9 and 2/3 innings. He strikes out 10, allows 3 hits. He won't get the decision. Jim Willoughby beats the Indians 1-0 in 11. Rick Waits takes the loss. He goes to 9 and 13. Dwayne Kuiper 1 for 4 with 2 RBI. Cover your ears, Lorenzo. Philadelphia 12, the Dodgers 4. Dick Ruthven gets back from his last horrible start to go 8 and 3. Don Sutton has been pedestrian. He's 13 and 12 on the year. Mike Schmidt 2 homers. He drives in 6. He now is 17 on the year. You'll see them Thursday at noon Eastern. New York beats the Padres 4-1. Craig Swan goes to 15 and 8. Gaylord Perry not winning a Cy Young this year. He's 12 and 10. Ellis Valentine 2 for 3 with a double. And last but not least, San Francisco scorches 4 balls for errors. Montreal beats them 7-4. Dan Schatzeder 8 and 4. John Curtis goes to 3 and 1. You're not taking that back. Ellis Valentine 3 for 5 with a stolen base. Standings. As I change around the game again. There. It was California, Boston. And I switch it to Milwaukee and Detroit, but because this is the last series between Kansas City and Texas, you get that instead. Philadelphia, 3.5 over Pittsburgh. Dodgers, 5 over the Reds. Milwaukee, a half game over Baltimore. The Yankees are a game back. That's 2 back in the win column. Everyone has lost 53 games. And in the West, Kansas City now is a 1-game lead over Texas, 3.5 over Minnesota, and 4.5 over California. I'm not sure that they're coasting yet, but it's close. Gary Serum, well, now it's second. He's a 1.91 ERA. And he's only a part-time starter. How about that? Oakland has the worst record in baseball, and they're 7.5 games behind Seattle. So Oakland's tragic number is 13. Magic numbers as we leave you on a Tuesday. Los Angeles at 30. Philadelphia at 34. Kansas City and Milwaukee at 36. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. It's the Royals and the Rangers again. My wife says, are you leaving? Leave it open then. We'll do it tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Royals and the Rangers again, this time from Texas. Until then, have yourself a wonderful day. Goodbye.